أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students, today our lesson is A-Level Islamic Studies, Paper 1, Passage number 10, Surah Luqman, verse number 17 to 19. The topic of this passage is prayer and arrogance. Look at the passage. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya bunayya aqimis salata wa'mur bil ma'ruf wanha 'anil munkar wasbir 'ala ma asabaka inna dhalika min azmil umur wala tusahhir khaddaka lin nas wala tamshi fil ardi maraha إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور واقصد في مشيك واغضض من صوتك إن أنكر الأصوات لصوت الحمير. The translation is, O my son, establish regular prayer, enjoin what is just and forbid what is wrong, and bear with patience constancy, whatever betide thee, for this is firmness of purpose in the conduct of affairs. And swell not thy cheek for pride at men, nor walk in insolence through the earth, for Allah loveth not any arrogant boasters. And be moderate in thy pace, and lower thy voice, for hardest of the sound without doubt is the braying of the ass. This passage that is taken from Surah Luqman tells about the advice of Hazrat Luqman to his son. Hazrat Luqman is very wise and pious person of Allah. Some scholars says he was a prophet of Allah, and some says he is not a prophet but very wise and pious man of Allah. In this passage, he advised his son about 5 things. For example, to perform prayer, preach good and forbid evil, practice patience, not to be proud, and speak with moderate voice. These are basic teachings and commandments of every prophet of Allah. After belief in Allah, the first duty of a man is to worship Allah only. And prayer is the best form of worship. Therefore, Hazrat Luqman advised his son about prayer. Holy Prophet said, the first thing which a person shall be called to account for on the day of judgment is salat, prayer. That's why Hazrat Luqman al-Islam first advised his son to establish prayer. The second advice of Hazrat Luqman is preaching good and forbidding evil. It is duty of all believers to enjoin good and forbid evil. It means to preach the other people is a duty of every Muslim. That's why Holy Prophet advised, said, if someone knows one verse, he should convey others. And if someone has a knowledge of about one verse, he should not confine it in himself, but he should preach to others. So it is duty of every Muslim to preach other people. The third advice of Hazrat Luqman is tolerance and patience. Because if someone preach in the way of Allah, he enjoins the others good and forbid evil, he will definitely face hardships and problems, and therefore he should show patience and tolerance. And if someone preach in the way of Allah, so he will definitely face problems, a persecution, tortures from the other people. So that's why Hazrat Luqman said, if you preach the other people, so you should be practice patience, tolerate the others. Allah says, and be patient over what they say and avoid them with gracious avoidance. Yani Allah command to the Prophet ﷺ, if you preach or if you face problem from the others, to be patient. The fourth advice of Luqman to his son about pride. He forbade him to show pride because it is the biggest sin. Pride and egotism of a person certainly displays itself in his pace and style of walking, which shows the state of his mind and also call of his pride and arrogance. And if someone has a pride, so definitely the pride will show in his attitude, in his style of walk, and style of speaking. So Hazrat Luqman Islam advised his son not to show the pride. Wealth, authority, beauty, knowledge, power, and such other things cause a man to become proud and vain. And each of these gives him a special style of posture. On other side, humility led a man towards the piety and goodness. It is shown by man's walk and pace. What Luqman mean to say to this? Avoid these states of mind and self and walk the walk of simple, honest, noble person, which neither shows any vanity and arrogance. The fifth advice of Hazrat Luqman to his son is to be moderate in conversation and speech. This does not mean that one should always speak in low voice and should never raise one's voice. For example, when speaking to a man close at hand or to a small group of people, one should speak in a low voice, and when speaking to a man at distance or a large number of people, one should certainly have to speak loudly. And Hazrat Luqman Islam advised his son, when you speak, not to be in low voice or not in loud voice. It means when you are speaking to a man that is very close to you, you should speak in low voice. When you are talking to a large number of people or to a man that is at distance, so you should speak loudly. The difference in the tone is depending on the occasion and situation. The tone of the praise has to be different from the tone of criticism, and of the expression of the goodwill from what of the anger. Dear students, it is our lesson today. I hope you all understood. Allah Hafiz.